So the histogram here shows the distribution of household sizes in a country for a recent year. Household sizes are 1 occupant, 2 occupants, 3, 4, 5, and then we have 6 or more. So the answers to the statistics question of how big is your household size is given on the x-axis as usual. So 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons, and so on. So they could label that with an X. And then we have the heights of the bars being the probabilities now of finding a house with these number of occupants. So the most common household size is 2. That is 0.334 as a probability. That's 33% of houses in this country are having an occupancy size of 2. And they're asking us to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of this probability distribution. So I'll go over 2 methods for doing it. We'll do it by hand, and then we can do it by technology as well, using the TI-84 calculator. So first, to do this by hand, we want to start to set up a table of X and P of X, and I'm just going to transfer the values from the graph now to this table. Household size is going to be the X. And P is going to be the probability of finding a house in this country with those particular sizes. So the X values that are relevant here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 or more. Probabilities are given in the picture. Now, in order to find the mean of a probability distribution, we want to use the formula that the mean is going to be given by the sum of X times P of X. So we'd like to come up with another column so that we can find that sum. The new column will be X times P of X. Alright, so what we have to do then is we have to multiply straight across 1 times 0.267, 2 times 0.334, I get 0.456 for the next one, and so on. Okay, all we got to do is just sum up that last column, add all these. I get that the sum of xp of x is going to be 2.533. Now let's just check that with technology and make sure that's correct. So on TI-84, we want to go to the Stat button, hit Enter to edit your lists. You want to enter your data into this table, so we put the X values on the left, and then the probabilities will be on the right. So I got my X values in L1 and probabilities in L2. Then we'll hit Stat again, go to Calc, and it's just one variable, Stats, so it's the first choice. You do want a frequency list, so put L2 as the frequency list if you don't have it already, just by hitting second L2 there. And then it's going to give us the mean, 2.533. It's exactly what we found. Another thing this problem asks for, though, is the standard deviation. And that is given right here in the calculator. Okay, sigma x is 1.4 1.412. We want to find that standard deviation as well. So it has a formula. The variance is going to be the sum of x squared p of x minus mu squared. That's the formula for it. And then if we want standard deviation, we just have to square root the variance. Alright, so luckily we already have the mean, so that's part of the formula, but we also need this x squared p of x. And so we can continue with our table and go farther with it. Now, one thing you might do to avoid mistakes is you may come up with a new column for just x squared, and then you might want to just write the probability of x right next to it. Otherwise, it's easy to multiply the wrong numbers because you're looking at the wrong column, like I sometimes do. So I'll just copy the p of x over. I'm squaring the x values, so I'm doing 2 times 2 to get 4. And then over here on the very right, I'm just going to copy that 0.334. Yeah, and I'll just keep going like that. Okay, now we have to multiply x squared times p of x. That's going to be our last column here. I get that. Those are all my x squared p of x values. Now we just want to add them up and get what's called the sum of x squared p of x. I'm getting 8.411. And now we just want to put that into the formula for the variance. The variance has this formula. Alright, so that's what I get there. So the variance is about 1.995. And we can now find the standard deviation, which would be the square root of that. Comes out to about 1.412. Alright, so these are going to be the answers to the question right here. This is the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation. Just check it with the calculator and see if the calculator agrees. Yeah, right there. Standard deviation 1.412.